actually hated this script when I first read it. I hated it pretty bad. I mean, I really was ready to fire my agents and my manager because they kept insisting that I give it another shot. And I read it a second time, and I said, "You've got to be kidding. This is ridiculous. These characters, the theme of this film."
But Jeff is always our first choice. But we, in our minds, are unobtainable. He's a big movie star, and it's just a fairly small movie. But, you know, I'll tell you, his agent loved it, his manager, Neil Koenigsberg, loved it, and it made its way to the Bridges family, and his wife loved it. And I think Jeff at first was a little reluctant, but then he kind of saw the specialness of it.
I said the only way to put a stop to this is to assemble actors and make these representatives of mine come and view what this will be like as a film, and I think they will see my way of seeing it, and they'll say, "I'm sorry we gave you the script." So we assembled a wonderful group of actors, and I was proven dead wrong.
And he slowly fell in love with it. Like any great love affair, he slowly fell in love with it.
It made me doubt everything I'm certain about, because I thought it was a great story, and the deeper I got into it, the more I enjoyed it, and I'm very pleased with the film and loved it. Anyway, today I'm just too tired of it, more unaccepting than even usual. I just had enough of not having enough. There had to be something that I could come up with.
The story of Jeff's character is very much something I related to, which was, there was a time in my life when I had a very strong need for an accomplishment. I was without any, and that was bugging the hell out of me. It was when I was, 35 years old. I was desperate for an accomplishment and couldn't, there were others I wanted, believe me, but it just wasn't going to happen. The only thing I could come up with was quitting smoking. And they were my best friends. I really was very fond of them. I smoked a lot. And, but that was the only thing available to me. If that need for the accomplishment hadn't been there, it wouldn't have happened.
Once we had Jeff on board, and once it kind of felt like the movie was moving forward, we really began aggressively going after everybody else we dreamt about. And oddly enough, we ended up with exactly the people that we always wanted in this movie, and it's very rare.
We definitely didn't want to waste the momentum we had going here. Brainstorming time. Here's what came out of the meeting. We decided that we would each go our own separate ways and come back with actresses for our film. Divide and conquer. It was up to the individual to forge his own path and design a way to emerge victorious.
Who's got a knife? Got a knife.
Two shot of you guys coming in on you, Timmy.
Are you all right? Can you do that again? Unbelievable.
When all systems were finally go, when the cast was all cast and we had the money and everything was in place, the starting date just leapt out in front of us, and we had to start in a few weeks. And we were making this story about a bunch of friends who all knew each other, had grown up together and lived together for all these years. So I thought it'd be an interesting idea to get to know each other as best we could in this little period of time that we had. So I asked Michael and Aaron what they thought, the producer, Aaron Ryder, and director Michael Traeger, what they thought about if we all mustered down at my folks' beach house for a 2-day sleepover.
And telling that to Michael Traeger was like, there was no way that wasn't going to happen. We have to do this, we have to do this. So, I mean, we made it all happen.
And we spent 3 days having a really great time. A lot of red wine, a lot of really good food. And it was so smart and so wise to spend that sort of time together, because, you could be on a movie set and you could spend, 5 weeks before you spend that sort of time together, collectively, like 3 days in a row. So I feel really fortunate that we had that. I think we all feel really fortunate.
And we got there, and this was, 6 guys, me and Joey slept in the same room. I kept him up all night snoring. I mean,
Tus tráilers. Visita mi canal.
We did everything together, and it was really fun. And we blocked some of the scenes. We actually blocked on the beach. Their house is on the beach in Malibu, so we'd actually John, the AD, had a stick, and he blocked out the scenes on the sand during the low tide, and we worked out in the backyard.
And it was a great way to enter the world of the film. And it meant that once we started shooting, we were really used to one another and used to one another's rhythms. And I think that that really lends itself to the material, and I think it probably will make the movie a far better film.
We just hung out and drank beer and talked and got to know each other. It was a lot of fun. Jeff plays guitar and I play guitar, so we had a kumbaya going. It's good that we all kind of understand male affection and that nobody's really creeped out by that, so it comes off very naturally.
There's a name for people like me. They're called writer-directors. We do 2 things. Hollywood had to invent it because there's a lot of people in Hollywood like me that are multi-gifted.
More time to prepare may have been a problem. Not having a lot of time to think about it and having to just go, okay, this is a miracle. Don't waste the miracle. Okay, whatever you do, don't waste the miracle. And, you know, sort of it happening to me quickly, it just coming upon me was a blessing. I just went with it. I didn't allow myself to sit around worrying about it. That would have been, I think, just ruin everything.
So you're saying, yes, you're saying just keep on going, they follow you, and then we'll pick it up.
And then come back to us.
Okay.
And there's no doubt, I mean, Mike will tell you, I mean, it's a real learning curve to step on a set for the first time and direct something. But it's not like Michael's searching to figure out what the material is. He knows these moments. He created them. And he's also, you know, it's very fortunate too. He's got a lot of guys with a lot of experience, you know, on a film set, and everybody has something to say.
I've had really great luck with first-time directors. One of the things I enjoy so much about it, and Michael, you know, wasn't an exception in this, in that you just kind of open, you know. You haven't done it before, so you don't know what you can't do, what you can do. You're kind of just open, and you have the right kind of mindset that Mike had, where you don't get frightened by that openness, but you encourage all these other people that you've got assembled around to put their input in there, and it's a very creative time.
The focus is overrated.
Such a nobility about him, and yet a gentleness and a real passion for what's going on that I think that leads us all, and not in a self-serving way. I think that he really believes in his story, and he believes in his characters, and he believes in all of us as actors and crew members, and that is a rare gift.
I think we're good. Let's just see if they're happy. We're not that bad. We got our establishing shot. I got 40 minutes of hot, steamy lesbian action.
If they were here right now and lit, yeah.
We're on schedule. We love what we've done. Indeed, it does appear that we are making a movie. We shoot stuff and we say, now, if we shoot this and we shoot this and we shoot this, then it should add up to what the writer intended. And then, indeed, that appears to be the case.
Mike seems like he's like the kid from the Bronx or something. He's like the kid from New York, the Italian guy from New York. I don't know if he is Italian, but
This is going to be Cracker Jack, piece of cake.
You know, when you work with a writer who's written a really thoughtful script, I think most of the time they make great directors because they thought about it so much. And then when you see how they cast it, he cast it really well. So a lot of his work in a way is done.
Directing is very dirty and dangerous.
Andy Sargenti, he's a fella who He's got a wonderful kid, young, kid about 13 years old. Just recently broke up with his wife, so he doesn't have his kid anymore. And he's out of a job. He can't seem to hold a job, and that's driving him crazy. So he's not when the movie opens up, he's not in the best of shape. Physically, Andy was about, 20, 30, 40 pounds overweight in those days, but that's very good. It's a line right in the script, I'm a fat guy, So that was kind of fun to play because that meant I could eat a lot of Haagen-Dazs and work on my part that way.
Jeff Bridges is one of the friendliest people you'll ever meet. And of course, Jeff Bridges is the dude.
And if you spend time around Jeff Bridges, Jeff's not that guy that's listen, let's talk about this because I want it this way. Jeff will want to talk about anything because he just wants to find what's the moment that works the best. Check your ego at the door. It's just about, let's just get it right. Let's find the moment fully. And it's a joy to be around.
It's been fantastic for me to get to play this role. I feel really lucky that Michael thought of me for it. Because usually I would be playing one of the goonier, more freakish roles in the film. I usually don't get to play the character who gets the girl. And it's been a real joy to be that person in this movie, to be able to play a role that's relatively straight in comparison to the rest of the roles in the film. And I've really relished the chance to make choices as an actor that are about being more subtle than about being more extreme.
Sunflower seeds, I'm great. As long as we can have some sunflower seeds.
There's only one person I have trouble working with on this set, and that's Joey Pants. Because I can't stop giggling. He makes me giggle. He's a very, 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 very funny man.
You know what I'm saying? Give me something to do. I play
Hizo
some idiot.
Trailers. Visita mi
I was named
canal.
by the guys. So I'm totally self-conscious and insecure about that name. I'm talking with... You see that I'm trying to get there. What my motivation is? Do you see? Never to interrupt an artist. He hates hearing it. He fucking hates it.
Not the real you. I would be proud to look like the real you.
The sum of it all. I wanted to go against type. I mean, I guess if you were going to typecast me in this movie, you'd probably ask me to play Otis. And Bill Fichtner, probably, if you were going to typecast him in this movie, they'd probably ask him to play Sam. So, it's nice that all of us, we are really playing roles that audiences are not used to seeing us play. This month, we have a special. We did 2 photos for the price of 1. So if you've 24 exposures, we'll give you 48.
My life's a reality show. I love this crap. Here's how we got this part. Mary, my wife, went in to read for one of the roles and said, forget about me, you have to meet Ted. You have to have Ted. He's got to play Moose. And she told me about Moose, and I read it, and yeah. I've always wanted to play a gay character. Or 2.
What you think? Ern, what is the other Ern, it's me, Moose. Is that what you think?
No, I think he knows he's gay, very much so, but I think maybe he had one kind of gay experience in his life, and then that was it. But he just loves his friends so much. He doesn't want to be different than them.
Well, everyone in the house, the kids and everybody, tease him about it because he'll kind of go into this riff that seems a little gay, and so we're all like, "Oh, Ted, you have to do this." And he's toned it down for the movie. He's, believe me, we've seen him be a lot wilder than this.
Unthinkable ways goes to whoever we can get to do it. Am I wrong?
I love that he says to Andy when they decide to do it, Andy, I really want to be a part of this totally, because he understands that Andy is doing something to make his life better. And I think, regardless of the comedic aspects of this film, Otis really feels that. I want to make my life better like you, Andy. I want to be with you all the way, totally and completely. And is so enthusiastic about it and is so driven by it. And I love that about it. I love that he looks up to Andy and probably always had since they were kids.
I'm not going to be changed by this event, but that's better than my days go. Can you use a guy like me, Andy?
Otis was made executive producer on the film.
And we just decided to run with this gag of making some T-shirts out of the yearbook photo, and a tribute to Bill. It's a little tribute to Bill Fichtner today because we just adore him.
They honor me. They got my high school yearbook, the makeup and wardrobe department, and hair. They got my picture, and they even got a shot from on the high bar in gymnastics in high school. It's like, well, actually, Maria in our costume department, she graduated from the same high school I did in Cheektowaga, New York, outside of Buffalo. So she called her sister who graduated me and said, "Can you get some pictures out of there?" And it was, it's just that they went through all of that and put it on. It's really awesome. The only thing that's kind of disappointing about it is that Patrick Fugit, doesn't have that picture on him. My picture.
Yeah. We should let everybody know, and then
Maybe Patrick will wear the T-shirt that night. We'll go out to dinner.
All right, Megan, we got to put that together.
Andy, if you're looking for a way to ask me out, you don't have to work so hard.
Oh, no?
No.
And the higher you throw it, the more time you have.
Right.
This might be... Oh, here you go.
You're going to be here a long time. Yeah. It's just been great. Jeff taught me how to juggle. This is when people think how great it must be to be an actor, they're thinking of jobs like this where everyone's just really having a good time and really enjoying each other and learning how to juggle.
One of the things I do, I guess I've been doing it on most films since Starman back in the early 80s, is to make a photo essay, almost a diary of the making of films that I've been in with a wide lux camera, which is a 35mm camera, but it has a panning lens, and so you get a very wide perspective. And I make a book of these photographs for the cast and crew. Here is the one that I made for Moguls. I guess. Oh, this is one of my favorite shots of this book. This is Aaron Ryder, the producer, giving Michael Traeger, our director, his first viewfinder. And I happened to be in the office there taking that during that day. We don't know what we're doing. Yeah, okay. Kind of like that.
Right. Can you show me that again now?
We don't know what we're doing.
To know.
You got it.
I'll take it anyhow then.
Reaction shots from people in skyscrapers as they peer and gawk out their windows at the passing train. Where is this? I mean, are we going to build a city for the train to pass through with skyscrapers surrounding the city? Are we going to fly somewhere? And here's my favorite. 99, interior office day. Boris gives it to Bianca in the butt as she defuses the bomb. And it's kind of irresponsible of them, so many people die if the bomb goes off. We don't know what we're doing, son. $25,000, that's all we have.
I don't need a nudity clause. I want a adipose tissue clause.
I want a midriff clause. I want love handles clause.
Yeah. No. Me? You, oh.
I told him straight up, you can shoot my dick. That's it.
Yeah.
Well,
else. You have your scruples.
Nothing else.
And I appreciate it. Well, you know how everybody's had.
It's a heavily sweet movie.
Y tus
It really tries
trailers.
to embrace
Visita
sweetness.
mi canal.
And the world it tries to put sweetness into is not a word you'd necessarily expect to find sweetness, but it really is very sweet.
Actually, I guess John, our first AD, and Michael went on a little tour to Hustler to pick all of these.
But I remember on 42nd Street, where Midnight Cowboy was shot, where people would go and watch these porno movies and masturbate in the seats.
Shocking.
I got hit behind the ear once.
Magic wand. See, it has many uses.
My first pornographic experience was probably Playboy behind my neighbor's shed, pilfered from one of their fathers. And my dad had a collection as well in the cedar closet. So I guess whenever I see a naked woman, I smell cedar. And I tend to like them both a lot, so it's good.
The pulsating, vibrating ruby thong. Yeah. What do they think of next? And the lover's treasure balls, of course.
Wow.
You have too many of those.
The girl on the cover was scantily clad and pretty attractive, so I was like, I wonder what this movie is about. It was starring Ron Jeremy, whom I met a couple years ago doing Spun. So I put it in, I was like, oh my God, you can do that stuff.
It's a good color.
It's a great color.
What do you think she does with those?
National Geographic was my first kind of experience of women's breasts in photographs. In countries I hadn't heard of, but wanted to go to. Yeah, that would have to be it. National Geographic. I'm going with National Geographic.
The Butt Buddy Kit.
But where's the one that was called My First Butt Plug?
I think somebody took that home already.
My mother strapped me to a chair when I was 6 years old and played these terrible, terrible porno films. No, I can't say that. My mom, she'll kill me, right?
So you need to start earlier. There it is. That's what I want. There we go. Okay, slow. Don't hit. Punch. Walk out of the way. Boom. Okay. And good. Action. No, Ernie, no, talk about it. Hey, what did you do, Ernie? Ow, that hurt.
It was, everything I dreamt of, like precisely, and more. It was even better than I dreamt, and it just was sort of what you do it for, sort of thing. I mean, I really, there was a point at which I honestly went to the bathroom because I got, I just couldn't believe it. I was sort of like weepy over it. I just, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I thought could be possible.
Quitus Trailers, visita mi canal.
Roll camera. Rolling.
Speed.
A marker. And action on it. Tim and Glenn.
How do they look? How's the contrast?
Can I start sending Michael?
No. Now, no, I'd send the fellas first. Go ahead. Oh, okay. And I would think you'd send Michael just before you cue Ted to go left. All right, it can happen now.
Michael.
You
got that 3-second roll and roll sound?
Speeding. Marker.
Settling and action.
How's school going, son?
I learned a lot.
Listen to him. Hey, Andy's no, Andy, he's thinking like
Joey.
He's comatose. Yeah.
God forgive me.
Everything comes in cookies.
So we're going again?
They got to.
We are moving on. You guys sound like Blaze. Alright guys, here we go.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
You guys gotta keep that. Alright. Okay, Monty, you ready? Dennis, you ready? Doug, sound you good? Shut down the EPK, right?
So Michael was saying he wants the improv to be as if. So when we start the lines, as if like we've been already talking about it. Okay. So what would be another scene? Another scene prior. Now where and if you come back, he comes back.
Quitus Trailers, visita mi canal.
Yeah, you got masturbation, couple of white girl, black girl. That's what just happened.
What just happened?
That was the scene before this.
We're out of that. This is.
47 Baker.
And cameras.
You know, there was
three guys.
We're taking a labor on marker and
it was on 20.
Action.
White, yes.
Yeah, with that. Yeah, you know why? You know, does that ring true, or do people even do that kind of thing? I mean,
you gave me an outline. You gave me the key scenes that were necessary for the movie.
I know.
I delivered them. That's what we're talking about.
But yeah,
no, but the budget is not my department. That's your department.
You have to be concerned with the budget.
I am concerned, and that's why we're talking. I am concerned. This is a draft.
It doesn't seem like it.
Yeah. Yeah. Some.
Sir.
Listen. First of all. Here, this scene, page 44, exterior top of the train, day. The train speeds through the city as Yvonne and Giselle lay on top of the train, eating out each other's, fuck, I'm sorry, what shall I do, boss? Sorry, should we start again? Sorry. All right, sorry.
Step back a few spaces. In between Otis and Barney.
But what's the point of letting me write the script if you don't let me do what I do?
We don't know what we're doing, son. We got to keep it simple. Otherwise, you know, we're never gonna make this porn.
I'll go get it for when you're ready. Huh.
Thanks.
Andy, first up.
The gal at the bed store.
Oh,
Well, she's hot.
Oh, yeah.
When did you ask her?
Haven't yet. We got to do that.
Then you don't know if she'll do it.
Marty, she works at a bed store.
Yeah.
Marty, a gal works at a bed store, you know she likes to what?
Earn a living.
Go to bed, a.k.a. lie down, a.k.a. scrub.
I do. I know that. Since when do I know that?
It evolved. Hey, brothers, can I get a statement in the late
Because the stage is really live. I mean, once we get out of this mask, we'll start doing tractors, then we'll be fine. But this is
Tus trailers. Visita mi canal.
put it in the hall behind the dolly.
Staging it.
Okay, we got a truck coming down. Clear.
But this time as you walk towards us, talk to each other.
Okay.
It's
No one ever talks
recycling.
to Moose.
I'll talk to you. And then the one time I really talked to you, it's pretty out there.
Now, Jeff, in the meantime, you may want to teach some The Wizard of Oz.
I'm not talking.
That's next.
Who are those people?
I like that.
Hey, let's go!
Move together!
I think, well, I don't know.
Okay, that's it. Let's go. Thank you.
That's all? That's it?
Thank you.
There's some beauty shots in there.
Sure, that's it.
That's it.
Today's man.
Thank you guys.
Right.
And the higher you
So you're kind of
throw
going
it,
like
the
this,
more
too.
time. Am I? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
And the higher you throw it, the more time you have.
Right.
This might be, when
Right.
it's closer, you got to be too fast. Brain.
Yeah.
That third one, get it up. Oh, here you go.
You're gonna be here a long time.
And this is actually easier than what you did.
Okay.
What you're going to do now is you're just going to throw this one and then that one. Watch, boom, 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 boom. See?
Yeah.
Upright?
So two in your right hand.
We're ready for you.
Okay. Go on. Just one pass, quick.
All right.
My youngest brother's actually
Boom, boom, boom.
my
That's
oldest.
it. See? That's it. Quick while you're in here. Excellent. You see?
That's so exciting.
Isn't that cool?
Good check.
And I'm waiting for it right here. So can I see what B-bar? Settling.
Camera set.
And action.
No, I mean, no, talking about it. Hey, what did you do? Ow, that's hurt.
And cutting camera.